The last term in this series we are going to discuss is observability. Probably we all have seen or heard the phrase which says a patient is under observation. If a patient is critical, doctor may want to monitor it continuously, and they may not be only looking for one singular metrics, not just let's say, okay, we will just monitor the heart rate, maybe we would monitor oxygen level, maybe we would monitor the temperature also, maybe we would collect and see the pattern into this temperature for his or her body. We may also want to see the hemoglobin level into blood. So this whole concept of holistic observation is what observability is, rather than focusing on just one single metrics which may not be giving you the true picture. We are looking for the overall story behind all the things. That is what observability is. We will talk about it in technical term, but observability is keeping something in observation and understand the pattern, and it focuses on finding the root cause, not just raising the alert. So okay, a patient temperature increased to let's say 4 degrees. What could be the reason behind it? Maybe it was a medicine given to him or her 1 hour before, or maybe because its oxygen level went up or down, or maybe we administered a typical syringe into him or her. So that is what we want to understand. The pattern and predictability is what we are looking for. Let's say after maybe food given to the patient, its temperature goes down by 1 degree or 2 degree. So that is not an alarming situation. Maybe it happens all the time. So that is a observation which we have done. Let's focus on technical definition of observability. Observability is the extent to which you can understand the internal state or condition of a complex system based only on knowledge of its external output. So whatever is physically by means available metrics are outside, can you understand the internal working? That is what we refer of observability. So observability is basically the way by which we want to say what went wrong. Not just that, but we want to say why it went wrong. So if temperature increase happened, why it happened? If oxygen level change, why it changed? That is what we want to know. That is what we refer by observability. So I hope observability is clear and you understand what we will be using observability for. Let's see some examples here. Now, observability is not just one study. There are multiple things which we have to be aware. We have to be aware about three things for observability: metrics, logs, and traces. When you have these three combinedly viewed, that is what we say we have achieved observability. Let's talk about each of them one by one. So observability involves gathering different type of signal and data about the component within a system to establish the why rather than just what went wrong. So what went wrong? Yes, we know that something went wrong, but why it happened, we need to know the overall picture associated with it. So we collect metrics from the system, which is time series data like number of connection, requests sent, failed login attempt, maybe number of transactions. This is all the time series data at a particular time. What was the outcome? That is what we measure. We also see logs. Okay, so we are seeing that our logins are taking, let's say the duration for a login was let's say 10 millisecond, and now we have seen it has 25 milliseconds. What it could be reason for behind that? Maybe in logs we see that previously there were 10 attempts per, or maybe 10,000 attempts per second for our application to log in. Now we have 100,000 attempts happening on my application for login. So that I can check from log because it just shows me metrics here. I may need to relate that metrics to log, and then I would understand what is happening behind the scene. So that is what logs are. So any system performs any activity like a user logged in, a user denied login, or maybe a transaction was successful or failed. All of that get recorded into log. So we need to understand the log. This is sequence of event. And also we need to have traces. End-to-end request workflow. Modern applications are not monolith anymore. They are made up of multiple components. So component of login, then authentication, then maybe there is tracking, maybe there is a shopping cart, maybe there is a recommendation engine or whatever, and your request goes through multiple paths and then the output is delivered. So can I find out what exactly happened by the time my request entered into the system and it exited? Can I follow end-to-end request flow? So maybe it was slow recommendation engine, or my checkout process was slow, or there was a delay into my payment processing system. So that all I could identify, that is referred as traces. So how we observe, obviously there are services in AWS by which we can get observability. So if I go back to these two things, metrics and log, in AWS there are services which is called CloudWatch. So CloudWatch has an option for metrics collection. CloudWatch has CloudWatch logs for log collection, and for traces we use another service in AWS which is called X-Ray. So when we combine all this data, what I get is an observable application. So when I say my application supports observability, so can I collect metrics? Can I collect logs? Can I see the traces of end-to-end request workflow or not? That is what we mean by observability. Seeing end-to-end picture and ability to answer why something happened rather than what went wrong. So how we observe system? So for that we collect data, all my log, all my metrics, we observe it, then we act upon it also, and then we start analyzing too. So it is not just seeing and just waiting for something to go wrong, but we predict something, observe it and act upon it, and then we analyze it further. So that is what we mean by observability. So I hope you have a better understanding of different abilities within cloud system. We talked about availability, durability, reliability, scalability, and observability. That should have given you good foundation to get started with your cloud journey. Thank you.